Hello Libra, thanks for joining me for the November of 2022 Horoscope with Animal Totem. My name is Vickieverlie and you can find me at vickieverlie.com, and I'm Rock and Roll Prophetess on here. Don't be fooled by imposters. There's some astrology stuff, the eclipse and everything. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but first I just wanted to tell you that the decks that we're going to use in today's reading, this is your monthly reading for November. We're going to pull the Chrysalis Tarot. We're going to pull cards from that for the main part. Then we're going to come over to the Rock and Roll Tarot 3rd edition, and we're going to use that deck also, my own creation. Then we're going to pull an Animal Totem card for your Beast Mistress Animal Oracle deck. And then finally, if you're a level 2 Patreon subscriber, there's going to be additional cards pulled from the Morgan Greer. And yes, I see that card there. We're going to take a look at it. Ace of Pentacles. So we're not going to put that in this reading. But we will, I mean, I'm not going to leave it laying out for this reading. But you can think about that as an incorporation of this, as this. Yeah, so I wanted to bring out the astrology for just a minute. I've been doing this on just a quick astrology thing. This part, you may be better that you watch it, your rising sign for this part of it. It's your Libra here. There's going to be an eclipse in Taurus on the 8th. These are the eclipses that are those eclipses that may eclipse something out of you here. That I'm sure you've heard that eclipse will eclipse something out of your life. Well, it's usually these full moon lunar eclipses that will eclipse something out of your life. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be something wanted. Now, it's in your 8th, which is mostly a financial house. There's death and sex and other things. But it feels to me like in the best possible scenario, maybe some kind of big financial burden could be done. Maybe, I don't know if some of you maybe are getting that, that thing with your college loans. I know that they passed it, but I know my kids haven't got it. They both have college loans and they haven't got it yet. So maybe that something like that could come through where you get a big chunk of your debt wiped out. It could be, I mean, you could use it like that. You may want to think about that at this time, eliminating debt, maybe breaking free of a financial partnership, a business partnership, or somehow where the money's tied in. And then the other thing that's happening is Jupiter was here in your 7th house of relationships, and it's moving back into your 6th house of work and health. So this is a completion of something that was started back in the early part of 2022, really like between January and May. You may want to think back what was going on in your life at that time, because this is going to be another, it's going to touch base in here again and kind of wrap things up for you. And then it's going to go on, it'll be another 12 years before it comes back to this particular sign. So, starting some kind of health regimen, doing maybe some kind of new thing at work. You may be getting really busy at work and having to work a lot because there's an emphasis there. Jupiter always expands, makes more. There's an emphasis. So it could even be something like that. I'm going to move on. We're going to start the card reading. So the first thing we're going to do is this Celtic Cross with our Chrysalis Tarot here. There's no gender in these readings. Okay, so even though it might show up as a queen or a king or whatever, there's going to be, there's gender in the cards. But in the reading, it will just apply to everybody. We can't distinguish that here. Okay, so what is coming up for our Libras for the month of November of 2022 for our Libra friends? Sun, Moon, Rising, or anybody who has a lot of, I was going to say a lot of Venus in their chart, because that's your ruling planet. Death is the first card out, so changes. Followed by the Sorceress, the High. I thought that said Scorpio for a second, but that's the High Priestess, the Sorceress. Basis of the situation, the Lovers. 9 of Pentacles, some kind of financial things. 4 of Mirrors, that's the 4 of Cups. Celtic Owl, which is the Hangman. 4 of Stones, which is the 4 of Pentacles. The Empress, or Gaia. Temperance, final outcome. 9 of Mirrors. Well, that's the 9 of Cups. That's the Wish card. So for the final outcome, you got the beautiful 9 of Cups. Nice energy. It is the Wish card. Wish is coming true. So if you tuned into this and with a question in mind, yes, you're going to get what you want. You know, deaths, but it's going to require change. There is some big changes. Not surprising with the eclipse going on. The sorceress or high priestess is crossing this, so this tells us that you have some intuitive. I mean, this isn't, oh, there's this big change coming. It's not a shocker, probably. You've had an inkling, you had a feeling that it might be coming. You get your ducks in a row with your finances, because if you play your cards right, no pun intended, you could definitely get some kind of, you could be set. You could be sitting okay with the 4 of stones and the 9 of stones here. Those are those money cards. You could be like, okay, well, maybe my job's changing, or there's some big, you know, maybe I'm going into my not busy season or my busy season at work. But you've got, you know, you've got a little bit put away, or you're sitting in a place where you're going to be okay. You'll be able to get through it. So if that hasn't happened yet, maybe start socking some money away, or being maybe a little bit conservative, just to make sure that you're going to get through this transition. The Hangman is here, so you're waiting around. You're getting enlightenment. You got High Priestess and the Hangman. So those are both cards of being tuned into spirit, like meditating, getting those spiritual downloads, getting that information. And here's the other thing that makes me know that you're going to be okay, because you do have the Empress there, so you are flourishing, you are in abundance. Some people may be coming up, or somebody could be coming up pregnant. We got the Lovers and the Empress and the Rabbits here, so the Rabbits were having, you know, money's coming around, or, well, I said money's coming around, but it's really about, you know, making babies. And the Lovers is here, you know, so some of you, your relationships should be going fairly well. If you're single, you could meet somebody. Somebody thinks you, if this is geared toward relationship, if I were to gear this reading toward relationship, or at least these 2 cards, you know, it's like, well, somebody thinks you are it. Somebody thinks you are the most beautiful creature they've ever laid eyes on. That came through loud and clear. I'm hearing that old-timey song. Hey, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? Oh, and if you did, was she crying, crying? I just changed keys, but that second part about was she crying. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, and the Empress, I always know she's the goddess of, you know, the harvest and everything, but she's got that leaf at this time where there's leaves everywhere where I'm at. You're working with the universe. This is, you know, the Hangman, the High Priestess. Some of these are like you're sending the messages out, even in this card. This card to me, but you're working, you're listening. Then you have to listen to the universe. That's what this is reminding me. But, you know, this card, normally this is somebody who's making you an offer. This is a very different image than your typical 4 of Cups. It feels like it's all, you know, it's all an illusion, and it's all being mirrored back to you. It's all being, she's got mirrors just all around her. It's all being mirrored back to you. And you are creating your reality. And then again, the final outcome, we've got that 9 of Cups over there. So interesting time for a relationship. Trust your inner guidance. Listen, ask, but also listen for the response. You're co-creating with the universe. Okay, let's go ahead and get your, I've been doing this all day. Let's get your animal totem. Well, it's not an animal totem. What we're going to do is look for you. So you are an air sign. So we're going to be looking for the air sign energy. I'm going to take these because they flew out. And in this deck, it's the swords. So we're looking for the Knight, King, Queen of Swords. And then the cards that surround, here you are. And I was just noticing right away, 9 of Pentacles came out twice. High Priestess came out twice. So we're getting these repeating cards. It seems to happen a lot. It's pretty amazing. It's not always the same cards. So it's not like I haven't shuffled the deck and the same cards are coming out. It's different cards. I'm going to put a row below you down here and see what's around you. Yeah, you know, you're coming up into the world to see. Ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. I'm coming up. That's the song that's coming through. But you are coming up. Or coming out even, or whatever. Some of you might be actually coming out, like for real. But it's interesting that the High Priestess is right above your head here too. This is you. that you're getting those psychic downloads. The universe is trying to communicate with you and show you the way and give you the guidance. You have the Magician and the Fool. These are both, it's 0 and 1. It's putting your foot upon the new path and walking forward, and it feels like there's a lot of excitement about it. There's a lot of buzz. That's what I'm hearing. So for some people, there's a lot of buzz. People are talking about it. It's anticipated, widely anticipated, they're saying. Wow. Who am I reading for up there? So your widely anticipated debut, or whatever's going on here. But it looks, I mean, really very favorable. It's not just, you are co-creating with the universe, no doubt about that. But with you having that Magician next to you, that is telling you, you got to take the bull by the horns. You got to take that action. You got to sit in the driver's seat. This is so weird. It's focus, and I saw folk or fock, but it reminded me of like Meet the Fockers, you know, Fockers, and then cuss. So, you know, by the way, let that happen too while you're watching this reading. If any words are grabbing you or colors, you know, that's the way that your universe is what I almost said, but your spirit guides and can help you along. There looks like there's some celebrations coming up, possibly around that eclipse here, because we got the Taurus of Earth sign energy. Something could really pop around that time when we got the sun with the moon and this eclipse time of this Earth energy, because there's no other Earth energy going on. We're going to be in water, and then we're going to move to fire. The only Earth thing that's going on is this full moon eclipse on the 8th. So, well, it's going to affect everybody for sure. One of the reasons why you may get a little bit more of a charge out of this full moon eclipse I didn't mention too, because you're ruled by Venus and so is Taurus. So you share, and Venus actually in the Scorpio one, I haven't looked at this one yet, but the Scorpio one, Venus is involved. So that's your ruling planet. So even though it's not in your sign, you are ruled by Venus, Libras. So you will be affected by these changes. Looks like there's going to be some Emperor energy, somebody. It could be another person, but it could just be you. I think for some people, this is going to be your Emperor over here. You know, this is going to be your person that maybe you even meet at a social setting or networking function of some sort. It feels like cocktails, people, you know, some kind of where there's a lot of people, maybe a wedding even or something. Could be the same. This could be one and the same. But with this driver's seat Magician, you may be stepping into that role. For many of you, you may be stepping into the role of the Emperor. You may be claiming that power and becoming the master of your domain. Master of your domain, that doesn't really sound. Master of something, though. But the master of your own life, basically. All right, let me grab these animal totems. We'll start shuffling up and get your animal totem for the month. Real quick announcement, I am open up for the 2023 year ahead readings. Very popular, the most popular reading of the year by far. Many of you are ordering it, many order it every year. If you're new here, check it out. It is a comprehensive look at the upcoming year. We look at the astrology, and there's a lot of astrology stuff changing in next year, 2023. Then we get into the tarot readings, and I do the 4 quarters of the year, and then we pull an animal totem for you at the end, just like I'm about to do here. So check it out if you're interested. You can find the link in the description or just by going to my website, vickieverlie.com. What is the animal totem for our Libra friends for the month of November of 2022? The Sigil. Seagulls are going in more than one world. That's one of the things about them. You know, they're partially, you know, they're in different worlds. They're of land and sea and air. There are 3 different worlds. So you may be straddling different worlds at this time, even straddling different dimensions. I just heard from the guides. And with all this spiritual download stuff, that could be a thing. It really could be. It depends on how deep you want to go, how far you want to take it, really. Joyous seafarer calling from the sky, edging on this world and another, coming from a higher perspective and riding the currents of life. Yeah, so there is this energy of this high priestess, this, you had some other spiritual cards over there, the temperance, working with the universe, not really, you know, yes, when the way is showed, you want to act and go forward with it, but not trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Riding the wave, seeing where it takes you, And, you know, having some, looks like some nice success. 10 of Cups this year, too. You have Lovers and 10 of Cups, too. That's another thing. Could be some, you could be meeting a love interest. Yet, so definitely accept social invitations during this time. All right, before we go, a couple announcements. My song is coming out. I've re-released my Christmas song called Christmas Time. I put this song out, I wrote it in the 80s, I put it out in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, but it was not a great recording. I didn't have a lot of, you know, it was, this time I changed the key, it's, you know, I brought it down to better to fit my voice, I slowed it down, and I changed it around. So I am releasing it early November. I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be a Friday. I believe it would be the 11th or the 4th that it comes out. So check it out if you enjoy Christmas music, and then, you know, add it to your holiday playlist if you do have one. The other thing people often ask, well, what's with the rock and roll part of the Rock and Roll Prophetess? Well, if you are interested in finding anything out about that, I did an interview with my hometown, Level Up Cleveland. These guys, really fun couple of dudes from my hometown, musicians themselves, and they're doing these interviews with all these people and stuff. So I went on there, and so I talk about like my you know, my coming up in the music scene, you know, growing up in the Cleveland music scene, and, you know, what I did musically. And he was asking about my parents' bar and stuff. I'm talking a little fast. I did some caffeine that day, but it still was a good, fun time and good interview. So check that out if you're interested in it as well. All right, everybody. And another thing with the holiday season coming up, check out my website, because I have my art on notebooks and I have T-shirts and different things. So if you're going to be starting your holiday shopping, maybe consider not only me, but other independent creators, maybe helping them out by, you know, purchasing gifts through independent creators, because then, you know, that also goes towards helping out as independent creators, basically. But anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, Libra. It's a powerful time for everybody, and you're no exception. Remember, you're love and beauty incarnate. Please do hit the like, subscribe buttons, because that all triggers that YouTube algorithm and lets them know that you enjoy my content, lets me know that you enjoy my content, and keeps me producing this kind of content for YouTube every year. Okay, everybody. Have a great month. Patreon, you're up next. I'll get you shuffling, and we'll be having the next video with the Patreon peeps. You can get in on that too. Talk to you next time. Bye.